Hello! I'm sitting in the car. I look terrible, and I have a new baby. What the heck is my life? Setting you up on my car mount. So, want to document this crazy freaking time in my life because, oh my gosh, I don't think there's ever been a crazier one. Sorry for the stupid lighting. I don't want to hold my phone. So 3 weeks ago on January 22nd, my husband woke up at 3 in the morning with intense pain, and we decided to go to the ER and found out that he has sludge in his gallbladder. They recommended that we take it out with an OP surgery. Okay, so then he spent 2 weeks in a liquid diet, and it was absolutely miserable for him, and he couldn't have been more hungry and tired and weak. I am very pregnant at that point, and we had so much going on around the house, just other side things that I'm not going to get into. The weeks leading up to possibly giving birth, we started getting very stressed because we did not know if the surgery would be able to be done, and then the birth, and then all these other things that we had to do. My obstetrician was going back and forth about whether or not to induce me because my blood pressure was fine, but she was afraid all the stress that I was under from all these circumstances was raising my blood pressure. So she decided to induce me. The date went back and forth. I was getting very nervous that we were going to have to push off Jacob's surgery, which I did not want to happen because he was very weak and tired from this liquid diet and miserable. Anyway, long story short, they call me during his gallbladder surgery and tell me they want to induce me 2 days later, which is what we thought we wanted, and it is, and we'll look back on this time and laugh about it, I'm sure. But he had his gallbladder out Wednesday. It went fine, except when the anesthesia started wearing off. He was in an immense amount of pain and nauseous and had a lot going on from that. And I thought to myself, oh no, how is he going to recover in time for me to be induced? He woke up Thursday morning perfectly fine. He was a brand new person. We go in Friday morning, and he is in a lot of pain in his incision sites. But nonetheless, he kept a positive attitude. He wanted to be there for me. He was such a trooper. He was there for me the whole time. Went in at 5 a.m. Got started on Pitocin, which actually wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be because I've had Pitocin before and I hate it. This time it wasn't so horrible, but I will say that it was my hardest labor yet. I don't feel like my IV was working quite right, and I don't feel like the Stadol that I usually get did really much of anything. And it was a very, very, very tough labor. Lasted 4 hours, and he was, I believe, posterior, so he was extra hard to push out. Okay, so then after that, my husband was, as he says he was pain drunk. Because of everything that he did, he had to walk to the car at one point to go get something. He was lifting me up while I was pushing. He was doing all these crazy things that he probably should not have been doing. But because he's such a good labor partner, he wanted to be there for me, no matter how much pain he was in. Such a trooper. Fast forward to this morning, he wakes up in a lot of pain in his kidneys and his stomach, and it's slowly getting worse throughout the day, and We're trying different medicines out. Nothing is really helping much until all of a sudden he is really kind of starting to hurt badly. We are working on getting discharged out of the hospital. So as our nurse is working on our discharge paperwork, I talked to Jacob and he says, I am starting to panic. I'm getting dizzy. My pain is absolutely intense. And I could tell like something had changed in his pain level and it was absolutely unbearable for him. I go into the hallway carrying my son, setting off the baby monitors because they don't want you stealing a baby. And I say, somebody needs to take my husband to the ER right now because he is in a lot of pain. He just had his gallbladder out Wednesday and he's in a lot of pain. The nurse runs into my room. She says, we need a rapid response. We need to do a rapid response right now. I'm not sure what that means. They get this chair, they stick him in it, and they wheel him to the ER. And my nurse comes in, she says, how about let's do your discharge paperwork so you can go be with him. I'm scared. I'm freaking out. I want to be with him. I can't be with him because we're having a discharge out of this hospital. We had already had our stuff packed up beforehand. The nurse offered to take my son to the nursery so she could watch them, and I said, no, I don't want to do that. I want to leave all my stuff here. They very nicely let me do that, and I put Easy in my baby wearing wrap, and I buckled it down to the ER after going over all my discharge stuff, which I already knew everything. This is my 4th time doing this. I got it. Went into the lobby. I was very nervous about COVID. I had him all wrapped up in my Mobi wrap. I did not touch anything. I just went to the front desk. They said, we can't let you back there with a baby, which I'm kind of actually thankful for because honestly, I don't want to get COVID and I don't want him to get COVID. But I was very, very sad that he was back there by himself. And when I tell you, he was in pain and panicking. It was scary. So I knew that he was back there in pain all alone, and I did not like that. I was able to get his phone to him, and I went back to the labor and delivery room and just sat down in the quiet and packed up all of our stuff on a cart, and a nurse helped me wheel it down to the car. I talked to his nurse. They were running all of the tests that they needed to run. Jacob believes that he passed out from pain because he is texting me thinking that he had only been there for 5 minutes when in fact it had been about 45 minutes at that point that he had been wheeled down to the ER. He is very calm now. Said that his kidneys are very achy. When he started feeling a lot of pain, he felt something in his kidneys move, and that's when his pain was at a 10. And so now I am sitting here in the car waiting for him to be discharged from the ER so that we can go home. He is very anxious to get out of there so that we can leave. To say that this is the craziest time of our lives is an absolute understatement. So now, I feel like it's only up from here. But what a roller coaster it has been. the funniest part about this is I have told absolutely no one what's going on. Nobody knows Jacob's sitting in the ER right now. The last time I talked to my mom, she was telling us that everything is fine, and that was before he said he was dizzy and that his pain was at a 10. So she has no idea that he's in the ER. She thinks that we're still sitting in the hospital room, waiting to be discharged. Little does she know, I was discharged a couple hours ago. But you know what? We are just enjoying sitting here in the car. He has been sleeping on me for a couple hours now. He is cozy. He is happy. I am cozy. I am happy. Jacob's not cozy or happy, but he will be. What a crazy time. Oh.